In this video, we're going to take a look at inputting fractional dimensions into a part here in Fusion 360. So from problem set 2, you'll see that all the dimensions are here in fractions. There is a way where you can do it mathematically. Use a decimal equivalency chart and input these as decimals. But that takes quite a bit of time going back and forth and referencing those numbers. The process isn't terribly difficult. It is just a factor that you cannot put in. Let me go back to that. Like if I have a overall length of 4.5, if I put in 4, then 1, then a division symbol or a slash, and 2, the program's going to think you're putting in 41 halves. All you need to do is add a space between the whole number and the numerator in the fraction, and the denominators at the end. If you were putting in a straight fraction, like 3/8, numerator, denominator, 3/8, enter, it will automatically convert it to 0.375. So usually it's not a terrible inconvenience, but it is something that you have to be very aware of, that you need to put a space in between the whole number and the fraction. So you will only see this in inches. You will not find this in a metric drawing. The fact that you can mirror this part because it is symmetrical would be in your best interest. And I'm just preparing in order to mirror this. There's my line down the middle. If I started at the midpoint, I'm going to set my overall height and length since I am in the front view. So I have an overall height of 2 space, not that a ½ inch you couldn't figure out, 2.5. You can mix and match all that you want. But I'm going to try to be pretty vigilant on putting in fractional dimensions. And I would need an overall length of 4 space 1 divided by 2. And a couple rectangles. We'll add some dimensions and we'll get this thing all cut down the size. So a ½ inch, 1 divided by 2. Yes, you can put in 0.5. This is 1 inch, straight dimension, no fractions, no decimals, and 3/4. We have a distance across the bottom of 1 9/16, and a distance up from the bottom that is 11/16, and a ½ inch for the web in the middle. Ready to mirror. Select the components that I want to mirror and the line that I want to mirror about. Both halves. From mirroring, I'm ready to push-pull. Same we're using push-pull. You can input the fraction, 1 space and 1/4. And I'm off and running to create the cutouts here on the top. Again, that I am going to mirror, I am going to that is not at the midpoint. I need something to mirror about. Find the midpoint. So I have something to mirror on. I'm just checking to make sure it's in the middle. All this line 4 is for mirroring purposes. So this distance is 3/8. And it is a 45-degree angle, or 3/8 by 3/8. The holes on the base are 7/16, a ½ inch from the back, and a ½ inch in from the side. I'm going to mirror these features to the opposing side. Let's add that they are coincident. And we're going to mirror. Select these. I want to mirror about this line. And I'm going to push pull both holes and those two corner cutouts. All I have left is a hole in this rounded top. The fact that I know the radius is a benefit, and it is in the middle. So just draw a line straight down. Knowing that the radius for this arc at the top, if I draw a circle and I set a radius of 1 3/8, this endpoint on the circle becomes this. Sorry, the endpoint on the line becomes the center for the circle. I have a drilled hole, and I need to contain or box in these. Instead of switching tools, anything will work. I got to stay with my circle tool here. Saves me a little bit of time. The hole is a 1/2 inch in diameter, and it is 1 13/16 up from the bottom. This top one doesn't have to be real accurate. We're just looking to create these two little cutouts here on the top. Just save me from having to select another tool. That is it. And we're going to push pull. We're going to round this top off. Cut these out here. And there you have it. The rod support.